Well, hello! It has been a long time. Like 3 weeks. And if I thought June's video record was abysmal, well, then there's July. I do have an excuse, which is that I went kind of to seminary-ish, for 3 weeks, and that was a thing. You can find information about it on social media if you want. Use your hashtag DigDeep17. Or is it DigDeep2017? Either way, you'll find it. You'll see some stuff. It's a little weird. It's by Calvin Theological Seminary. You can find information. You can find pictures, whatever. I'll tell you about it later. For now, we're gonna do the July health update, because some interesting stuff happened. The thing that's most pressing on my mind, I don't remember if I talked to you about it in June or not, but I went to see an ear, nose, and throat doctor. I have a thing in my throat. They're currently calling it a cyst. I go on the 9th for a follow-up appointment. Basically all July the thing has been hurting. I was on antibiotics for 21 days. There was evidence maybe of an infection in my tonsils, and after 21 days of Augmentin, any infection should be cleared up. So this pain is not infection pain. So it is probable I will have a biopsy of the thing in my throat. Biopsies are fine. Biopsies happen. Biopsies mean nothing. Pain is a little concerning. Cysts typically don't hurt. But since when has my health been typical? So I'm doing my best just to chill. Just to be fine. You know, there's nothing I can do. So we're just chilling and seeing. But there's an update. Let's talk about migraines. I think I had like one. I had one before I left. But that means this is the only month in a long time where I've had one migraine. Because I didn't have any migraines while I was at Dig, the thing I went to. And, that, I think, is a miracle. Just straight up God being like, I'm gonna let you not be an inconvenience to these people, because what are they gonna do with a kid who cannot interact, who cannot have people turn on lights? Especially if it's like, we're crossing the border today and a border guard is asking you questions and you're just crying. Not happening. You are not crossing the border into Canada. You look very much like you're being kidnapped if you're just sobbing. So I don't think that is something we can factor into my health, but it's a thing that happened. Speaking of like how I held up at Dig, there was a ton of walking and I'm not very good at it. So like there were days where we would walk consecutively for 5 hours. It's a thing that happened. I don't think I broke my leg from a stress fracture. I was in pain, like, all the time. I mean, I'm always in pain, but, like, you know, it's not easy. It's not fun. I did it. I'm a trooper. I survived. Probably caused irreparable damage to joints, but, you know, that's the price you pay. There was a day where I tapped into my super fancy prescription pain medicine, and it didn't actually do anything, which is riveting. And that was a day where the most walking we did was up and down the stairwells of Tyndale, which is a seminary in Canada, because we were just having lectures, and it was a pretty chill day, and I spent half that day just curled up under a blanket on a couch. It was like our last day in Canada, our third to last day of the whole program. Not how I wanted to spend it, but all I can say is I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner and there weren't more of them. I was a champ. My body was a champ. We held together like nobody's business. There was one day where I accidentally forgot my combler, which is the thing that I have like a weekly amount of drugs in. So it's the plastic strip where you put drugs in. I call it a combler because the Fry Life calls them comblers. I don't know what the term is. But there was a day where I left my combler on my desk in my dorm, and then we had walked to the seminary, and so I had like eaten breakfast before I realized this, and it wasn't worth it to go for breakfast, and then I'd forgotten up until dinner, and then it wasn't worth it then, so I took an accidental drug holiday. Still don't know how I didn't get a migraine then, because I did not take that medicine. Felt a little skicky with withdrawal symptoms-ish. Also, my stomach was being weird because I wasn't taking my anti-acid medicine. That's fine. Don't do that. Take drugs. This is the only time you'll hear someone say take drugs. Do drugs, kids. That's it. I don't know if we still talk about my period or not. I said that last time. This is probably, unless it's abnormal, the last time we're going to talk about it. It came, went, was fine. Yeah. Nothing remarkable. So, let's talk a bit about mental health. 2 facets. Number 1. I came out to half the people as non-binary. And what a great experience this was. This isn't like sarcastic. This is a genuine great experience. And I say I came out to half the people because half of us went to Toronto and the other half went to Chicago. Came out while we were in Toronto. By the time we all met up, it wasn't worth it. But like, there's nothing like being affirmed in who you are. And also, like, I got to talk about actual fears relating to whatever the heck my future is going to be in ministry. In a context where I didn't care if people were going to judge me, because I'm only seeing these people for like another week after I came out. And they didn't. And they just wanted to learn. So it was like the best coming out experience. The best it's ever gone. Because, still had to be an educator. I'm okay with that. It's kind of my shtick at this point. But I also got to just be vulnerable. So that was fun. And also, let's talk a bit about happiness, because, like, boy, was I happy. A lot. So, like, I'm still dysphoric and whatever. And sometimes aggressively so, while I'm there. Also, I'm talking only about Dig because I don't really remember the first week of July. It just is irrelevant to my life at this point. It happened, but it only matters because it got me to Dig, so. All I know is I had a migraine in there. I'm assuming it was exactly like June in every other way. But I was really happy, like happier than I've ever been. And there are like 2 theories. Number 1 is just that it's another miracle, kinda like the migraine. Just that it allows me to learn more and to be more receptive to what's going on around me. And since this is me trying to pursue God's plan for me and whatever, He would want me to be able to absorb everything to the best of my ability. That's a theory. The other theory is just that, like, it's just because I'm not home. Just because I'm away. Because I'm out of the familiar, out of the environment, away from everything that's complicated and hard to engage with. Which is not specifically just my house, but like, it's complicated to relate with people from school because I have a lot of issues with things that have happened to me at my school. And it's complicated to relate with people at my church because a lot has happened at my church, and yeah, it is kind of complicated to relate with my family, especially since I'm not out, and it's just makes it even harder to be home now. But I'm still trying to cherish this month because, you know, I'm gonna miss it. Even if I didn't, I'm going to, eventually. So that's how my health was, I think, as much as I can remember. And also a bit of rambling about Dig. Yeah. There's my health. There it was. There it went. What is it? What is health? I hope you have a great